You re-watching Night Terror Stories, and tonight I'm going to tell you the truth that changed my life forever. It all started the day I moved into an old apartment in Detroit, Michigan. The first day felt normal, but as soon as night fell, a strange tension surrounded me. I looked through the peephole and saw a man standing silently in the hallway of the opposite apartment, staring straight at my door. I opened the door, and he slipped inside his own as if he already knew I was about to open mine. At around 2 a.m., I heard scratching sounds beneath my door, like someone was scraping the wood with their nails. I opened it. Nothing was there. But in the morning, fresh scratches were visible. I installed a camera. The second night, the sound came again. I opened the live feed, and the same man was lying flat on the floor, pressed against my door, sniffing through the gap under it. His voice was faint but clear. "I know you're awake. Open the door." The manager told me the next morning that the apartment across from me had been empty for 2 months. I decided to leave that very day. A few weeks later, I moved to Cleveland, Ohio. New place, new people, but the fear seemed to follow me. My new neighbor was an old woman, Mrs. Kemp. She looked normal during the day, but every night at exactly 1:13 a.m., she would stand outside my window. Not blinking, just staring directly at me. One night I recorded her. When I zoomed in, it looked like she wasn't even breathing, and she was staring straight into my camera. The next morning, a Polaroid picture was stuck to my door. It was a picture of me, asleep. I ran outside, and Mrs. Kemp was standing by the fence. Her voice sounded like it came from inside a grave. "Keep your curtains closed. Some things like to look inside." That night my closet began to shake. I turned on the light, and Mrs. Kemp was standing beside my bed. In a blink, she vanished. But something inside the closet was breathing. I left Cleveland that same night. I moved to Austin, Texas. Across the street lived the Ramirez family, mother, father, and their son Ethan. One night, screams came from their house. Police arrived and took Ethan away. They said he had mental issues. After that, their house became strange. Windows always shut, complete silence, but it always felt like someone from that house was watching me. One day, I came home from school and found Ethan standing in the middle of the street. His clothes were torn. In a trembling voice, he said, "Don't go home." Before I could ask anything, his father came and dragged him inside. That night, someone knocked on my window. I pulled the curtain. Ethan was standing there. His voice was shaking. "They're not my parents. They only look like them. They go out at night, hungry." Before he could finish, something pulled him back into the darkness. The next morning, the police came. They said, "That house has been empty for 2 weeks." So who had I been seeing for the last 2 weeks? That same night, around 3 a.m., I got a notification. Motion detected at front door. I opened the camera. Ethan stood in the middle of the street, but his neck was twisted to one side, unnaturally. He slowly walked toward my house, stopped at my door, raised one finger to his lips and whispered, "Quiet," and disappeared. The camera turned back on. This time 2 shadows were at my door. A man and a woman, both sniffing the gap beneath my door. Then the same voice. The same one I heard my first night in Detroit. "I know you're awake." Even today, the moment I turn the lights off, I hear that faint scratching under my door. Like something that has followed me everywhere is still standing outside. You were watching Night Terror Stories, and if you like this story, keep your lights on until the next one, because some things stay more awake in the dark.